Hi guys, I have got another album on vinyl. It's McCartney, and so in today's video I'm going to be talking a bit about the album and my thoughts on the tracks, and at the end of the video I'm going to be ranking the songs in order from my least to favourite. McCartney is the debut solo album by Paul McCartney, released on the 17th of April 1970 by Apple Records. McCartney started working on the album in secret, mostly at his house in St John Wood, after John Lennon had privately announced that he wanted to leave the Beatles. After hearing this news from John, McCartney went into a state of depression, but with Linda's encouragement, he started to consider a career as a solo artist and began to work on his album. This is the album I got. I got it on eBay at a really good price actually. I paid £15 for it and I'm really happy with it because it's in really good condition. And then we have the back. A lot of people did think that this back cover was actually the front cover, but it is in fact the back cover. Taking a closer look at this front cover, it's an image of a bowl of red liquid and a load of red cherries, and the photo was taken by Linda McCartney. Some think it's playing on the phrase "life is like a bowl of cherries," which is said to mean that life is full of pleasure and enjoyment, and being as the cherries are emptied from the bowl, it's stating that this isn't the case for Paul at this time of his life. Now looking at the back cover, it's of this iconic photo of Paul and his daughter Mary. This photo was also taken by Linda. And then inside we have more photos by Linda McCartney, a collage of family snapshots of Paul, Linda, Heather, Mary, and then their dog over here, Martha. McCartney was released in Britain on the 17th of April 1970 and then 3 days later in the US. In the UK, the album debuted at number 2 in the charts and remained there for 3 weeks, eventually going double platinum. In the US, by the 15th of May, it had sold over 1 million copies and had stayed at number 1 on the Billboard Top LPs. But despite doing well in the charts, the album was widely criticised for being underproduced and for its unfinished songs. Music critic Geoffrey Cannon said the album has no substance, and Paul seems to believe that anything that comes into his head is worth having, and he's wrong. George Harrison said, "Maybe I'm Amazed and That Would Be Something are great, but the rest just don't do much for me." Harrison also said that McCartney was too isolated from them and only had Linda to say if a song was good or not. And Lennon simply said that the album was rubbish. Some believed that Paul used the album as a way to show how happy he was away from the Beatles, showing himself as this perfect family man, but a lot of people weren't convinced about this. I personally think that a lot of Paul's negative reviews and hate for the album came from the Beatles breakup, as a lot of people were blaming Paul for the breakup of the Beatles at the time. McCartney isn't one of my favourite albums by Paul, but I still really like the album, especially as he performed the entire album alone. He played all the instruments on the album, overdubbing on a 4-track tape. He played acoustic electric guitars, drums, keyboards, bass, and various percussion instruments, and Linda, she performed some of the backing vocals. It's a home-produced album, which I think makes it really special, especially as Paul said his ultimate message for the album was home, family, and love. Now I'm going to tell you my thoughts on each of the tracks on the album. There are 13 altogether. The first track on the album is The Lovely Linda. Paul wrote this track in Scotland in 1969 when he and his family were living on their farm. The song is dedicated to Linda. It's only a short song, about 42 seconds long, I think it is, and it's a very simple song with basic lyrics. I think it's a nice intro to this family-inspired album, but I feel like I can't rank it too high because it is an unfinished song more like a trailer. The next track is That Would Be Something. In this track, Paul plays acoustic and electric guitars, bass, tom-tom and a cymbal, and also performs a vocal percussion to sound like a drum kit, which I think is really cool. I think it makes this song quite different. I really like this track. It's another basic song with simple lyrics. Basically, it's just kind of like one repeated verse, but I think that's okay and works well with this track. The next track is Valentine Day. This is just an instrumental track with drums and electric and acoustic guitars, and Paul did say that the instrumental tracks on the album was more to test out his recording machine. The next track is Every Night. Paul wrote this song while on holiday in Greece, and it's another love song for Linda. In the lyrics, he is saying that he would rather spend time with Linda than the Beatles, coming from the time that they were breaking up. He also sings about not wanting to get out of bed, so he could also be singing about the depression he was going through also around the time with the breakup. I really like this song. It's so personal and I think a simply beautiful solo. The next track is Hot as Sun, Glasses. This is a 3-part instrumental. The first part, Hot as Sun, was written by Paul back in the late 1950s. Glasses, the middle section, is this eerie sound which Paul made by playing rims of wine glasses. And the third part is the outtake of his partly written song Suicide, one of the earliest songs written by Paul, apparently likely composed in 1956. He added the 9-second fragment of the song to the end of Glasses, as he said he had a bit of the tape left. I do really like the sound of this instrumental, and I find it quite interesting, especially knowing about the history of the different parts of this song. The next track is Junk. Paul wrote this song in 1968 when the Beatles were in India. They did demo the song for the White Album, but it didn't make it. The lyrics are of Paul listing items found in a junk shop. This track was take 2. Take 1 is Sing Along Junk, which is also found on the album. I really like this song. I think it's fun and really pleasant to listen to, and I remember getting into this song immediately. It was one of the songs actually on this album that I got into the quickest. The next track is Man, We Was Lonely. You can hear Linda on vocals on this song, and it was their first duet together. Another song inspired by the pain that Paul was feeling at the time of the Beatles' breakup. It's another song I really like, another simple one which I really enjoy listening to. The next track is Ooh You, and like with Man, We Was Lonely, the 2 tracks were originally instrumentals, but Paul decided to add lyrics just before leaving for the studio to complete the songs. I really like this song as well. I think it has a bluesy sound to it, and I really love Paul's soulful voice in this one. The next track is Mama Miss America. Paul said that this track was recorded completely at home. I just really love the bass in this one. Paul really showing off his bass skills. Definitely my favourite instrumental on the album. The next track is Teddy Boy. McCartney said he started this song in India and finished it gradually in Scotland and London. I remember first listening to this song and thinking it would be more of a rock song with the title Teddy Boy, but it's actually one of Paul's storytelling songs about a mother and her teddy boy son. I personally don't think it's one of Paul's best songs, but I still do like listening to it and surprisingly find it quite calming. The next track is Sing Along Junk. This track is said to be the original instrumental for Junk, which Paul planned to sing the lyrics over the top of, but then he decided to go for a more simpler arrangement with the vocal version. I like this instrumental just like how I like the simpler vocal version, another calming song to listen to. The next track is Maybe I'm Amazed. McCartney wrote this song in 1969, just before the breakup of the Beatles, and it was recorded at Abbey Road. Paul declined having the song released as a single, but it still received a lot of airplay worldwide. The song is regarded as one of McCartney's finest love songs and tells how love can overpower loneliness. A promotional film was made in 1970 and aired on the 19th of April, showing photos of Paul and his family. I don't really know what I can really say about this song other than I agree that it's one of Paul's finest love songs. And the final track, I'm sorry, I'm not too sure how to pronounce this one, Creen Acro. This track was inspired by a TV documentary that Paul watched. Sorry, my video just cut out then, but the track is inspired by a TV documentary that Paul saw about a tribe of Indians. The documentary is titled The Tribe That Hides From Man. Paul says that in the song he and Linda made animal noises sped up, used a bow and arrow, and even tapped on a guitar case to sound like charging animals. Knowing the inspiration behind the track made me connect with this one more. I'm now going to order the songs on the album from my least favourite to my favourite, and of course this is just my personal opinion. Sorry, I'm going to keep looking down just so I can remember my order. At number 13 I have Valentine Day. At number 12 I have Lovely Linda. At number 11, Creen Acro. At 10, Teddy Boy. 9, Ooh You. 8, Hotter Sun Glasses. 7, Sing Along Junk. And now on to the 6, which I really love on the album. So at number 6, it's That Would Be Something. 5, Man We Was Lonely. At 4, Mama Miss America. 6, Every Night. Oh, not 6? No, number 3, Every Night. I hope I got my other numbers right. At number 2, Junk. And my favourite song on the album, I don't think many will be too surprised, it's Maybe I'm Amazed. Thank you very much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. I'm really happy with my new album on vinyl. I can't wait to get more. I really love reviewing the Beatle albums, so I'm excited to do my next one. Please let me know in the comments your thoughts on the album and your favourite track, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!